People like me will never have a midlife crisis. So, what do I mean by midlife crisis? I mean when you become a man in your 50s and you just kind of lose your marbles, you lose your shit, and you think, why am I doing everything? Why am I in this relationship? What is this all for? I've already gone through that in my early 20s. Even by not experiencing anything myself, I've learned a lot on YouTube. I think without social media, which I hate, by the way, it destroyed me, I wouldn't have been able to learn anything about life until I went through it myself. And I remember being delusional about girls. But these men, they go into marriage and they think it's a fairy tale. They think it's gonna be a smooth ride. Everything's gonna be smooth sailing. But what really ends up happening is the woman, as soon as they get married to you, I know there's some okay women out there, don't get me wrong. But what tends to happen is they leverage you. They leverage the fuck out of you. And they change. They will change and they will become, you will have to just you'll be hanging on a thread. And especially in this day and age, women can work, women can earn their own money. You don't have a leverage anymore. I think the only way a man can ever have power, and when I say power, I don't mean like just being a horrible piece of shit, but just having that leverage is if you're a wealthy man. Because if you're an ugly wealthy man, because especially with age, men will eventually lose their looks, as you do. You will need some sort of leverage, to be able to have an argument and feel like you've got a bit of power. And that's what a wealthy man has. But most of these guys don't know what they're getting into. Even birth rates are falling regardless of all of that information. The men who do marry, they don't know what they're getting themselves into because the woman makes the same amount of money as them. She has all the power. She could cheat on you really easily. You can't cheat on her. A woman could cheat. A woman could just download a dating app and cheat. Now, I'm not saying they're going to do that. But that's the kind of leverage they have over the man. You are the guy who you need to just play your cards right all the time. And a lot of men are going to have this one massive argument in their life with their wife. And they're going to realize that they're just powerless. And it's going to frustrate them. And they're going to say, why did I get married? Why did I have children with this woman? And that used to work back in the day because women didn't work. Women needed you for financial security, and people would marry into the family as well, even in Western countries. But nowadays it's all a mess. And it's not like a cartoon. It was never like a cartoon. It's real. And it's all what's the word I'm looking for? Transactional. A relationship is transactional. The love disappears early on. And I'm already mentally prepared for that. A lot of people are just living delusionally. They think that, everything's fine and women are women. Oh, protect women, this and this and that. But no, they are taking advantage of you because of the way things have gone. And they are trying to wear the boots. And I'm aware of this.